So just last week I was here, right? I was just here. I remember seeing Refitia's age or something, and I thought it was like for fun, and it's like joking around. But man, so the new patch removed everything. So it removed quite a number of characters' ages, eh? I remember like I saw like some of the, was it Rubia or something, was like too young. Birthday. So where was it? I remember it was in let's see. Is there like one character that's still there? So all completely removed. All completely gone. So it's apparently people find it offensive, right? Because of the age. There's a lot of Wokies are winning. This is one of the example where Wokies win. If you think that Wokies always lose, they win. Even though Concord EOS, in the end Wokies still win. Alright? And as a Wookiee, I think this is how it is, right? Sometimes Wookiees win, sometimes Wookiees lose. Even the dudes. Okay, let me see. Even later and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of... Yep. And that's how it is, right? That's how all of these things are. No more age. Age. They removed the ages so people stop complaining. I actually think this is the reason. It's about Steam policies. No, it is about, maybe it's about Steam policy, but it's about people complaining, right? Because like there's no other reason why something has been in the game for such a long time. Like the game has been out for 2 years, right? The game has been out for 2 years, and then they decided to remove it afterwards. After 2 years, they take these things out. So why is this something that they need to remove? Clearly it's because of people complaining, right? Let's be honest. Because if it's like, there's a lot of things that people bitch or complain about that's like less controversial, but I guess this is going to be something that's extremely controversial and like very sensitive, right? Very, very sensitive. People are complaining about a fictional character's age. You'll be surprised how many people are not able to differentiate it as much, right? So anyways, what do people have to say in Reddit? Alright, let's see what are the stuff right now. So is Refitia legal? I don't think that's the whole point, right? The problem with them, I'm not a big fan of them going in this direction, because I feel like here's why I don't think this is good, right? I think like if you give an inch, they will take a mile, right? You guys know what that saying is, right? So basically, if they complain about these things right now, and then they know that they can do this in the future, they're going to complain more about like a lot of different things, and then like it will never stop, right? We all know this is not going to stop. Do you think that this is going to be the only thing that they are going to complain about? Because if somebody is going to complain about one thing, they are probably going to complain about another thing, right? They are going to say, oh, you still have this character that's looking, you know, like Ru, Refitia, you should remove them. Sonia, right? Remove all of these lolly, you know, like so-called young-looking characters as well. So, and then they are going to say, oh, you should remove these characters as well. There's like somewhat like borderline. So at what point is it okay, right? Don't say the word, the L word, is it? The L-O-L-I. I do think that when you do that, right, it's a very scary thing, because it's not going to stop there, right? Everybody here knows, because when whoever that complain, they know that this is how they can get away with it. They can get the developers to change things, and I think they are just going to keep doing it, right? And I would do it, right? If I know that the developers can, you know, I can alter the developer's decision according to my my own personal worldview, I would probably do the same thing, right? That's just how it is. It started with them removing dudes, so it proved that complaining works. Well, the removing dude is not, did they really remove though, right? They are still deciding about it, right? They're still deciding on the direction of the game. That one could be like a separate. It's a power trip for all these people. It's all about power and control. Yeah, I feel like there's no... At the end of the day, I hope the developers know what they're doing, right? Because I really want Brown Dust 2 to continue to grow and hopefully get more players. But do they really think that they can actually get more players by catering to people that complain about those, right? Because I don't think people that complain about those things intend to play Brown Dust 2 to begin with. People that complain about age in Brown Dust 2, do you think these are people that actually want to play Brown Dust 2? Okay, now that age is out, are they going to actually try out Brown Dust 2? These are people that they don't really like the game to begin with. They have already made up their mind that this is like a gooner game or like this is a bad game, right? They're not going to try out your game. So why are you doing this for them, right? Why are the developers doing this for them? The developers should do something that's beneficial to the players who are currently playing the game, not for other people that are complaining that's not playing the game, right? So I do think that that's my perspective at the end of the day, right? This was not a thing back before COVID era. It is a Gunner game. It is a Gunner game, right? But people that complain about it, saying that there's an age, for example, right? Do you think that now that this has been removed, they are going to like give the game a fair shot? It's probably not going to happen, right? They are still in mind for the L word. Pretty much nothing really changed. Eastern games only change this on the surface level. This is quite common. Age is just a number. Yeah, I do think that this is probably, if I have to guess, it's probably the complaint from the West, right? I don't think it's from the East. Fan service game was doing fine, but then suddenly it's a problem after the COVID era. So here's what I also think, right? If I have to guess, my guess is probably... See, I don't think it's a coincidence that they are doing this now. So think about it. The game has been out for 2 years. 2.5 years, right? So now they decide to do this after 2.5 year anniversary. They decided to do this now, not during the half anniversary, not during the first anniversary, not during the 1.5th anniversary, not during the second anniversary. So they are doing this now. So my guess is it has something to do with Steam, right? Maybe Steam did explain to them, hey, here's why we cannot have your game on our platform. And maybe this is just my guess, right? Because it's like so close to the incident of the Steam incident, right? It's like the timing is so close to that. They decided to change this anyways. So are they actually considering of putting this on Steam or something? Because like, what is the thought process here, right? Or because now Steam explained it to them, now they know the reason. They are thinking, okay, maybe we should just do this, but we still won't go on Steam because it's like whatever. But they know how the Westerners think now. Like, is this like something that they... Because like I'm trying to see why they decided to do this right now, right? Specifically, Steam has way worse. I'm sure it has way worse, but it probably doesn't have like the age issue kind of thing, right? Maybe. Steam relaunch for 3rd anniversary. So basically if the Steam thing was supposed to be smooth sailing and stuff, it was supposed to launch on Steam today, right? It was supposed to be today. Like if you never get banned or like get any problem, it's supposed to be like today. Steam is the launch is supposed to be today. But that's just, that's a little bit unfortunate, right? Senran Kagura treatment. Wow. Is this true? What happened to Senran? I have no idea what happened to Senran Kagura. That could be like a separate thing, specifically. F. Refitia's bio. I love them. I think it's kind of funny too, right? I think the Refitia's bio was kind of funny, but some people might find it offensive, sure. Things that I find funny might be offensive to some people. I think vice versa as well. You said the moment that they announced that their quest to be on Steam was a bad idea. I don't think the idea was bad entirely. The idea was literally, the goal is one, right? Is to make sure that more players are aware of the game, right? If you put your game on Steam, like generally more people are like, let's be honest, right? Like 300,000 people did pre-register for the game, so that's quite a big number. Even if out of 300,000, let's say like 1/10 of them give it a try, right? I think that's like a big additional number, right? So that's going to be the stuff. They forgot about the age. They were preparing for the Steam release and they forgot about the age. Is that really the reason? Then they would have just removed that and reconsider, right? They did the same thing for Senran Kagura. Some characters were underage. They removed the ages for the Western release. Oh, really? I didn't know about that. Because Senran Kagura has plenty of games, right? I never heard of that before. Some states in the US, they pass a law that prohibits any violent or sexual depiction of, in digital content. Alright, that's a little bit complicated, I guess. There's going to be a lot of layers into those things. All three of her costumes, not only this one. Justia can now be whatever age you want in your head. I hope this stops some people feeling the need to protect a PNG. It's not about PNG, it's about fiction. People need to know that fiction means whatever the heck it is. You ain't gonna see anything like 500-year-old elf in the real world. People who can't distinguish between the two are effed up. It's not cause anime and game fed them. Without these contents, they're gonna do some crazy shit one day regardless. I don't think these people they can't distinguish the things. I think they're just trying to virtue signal, right? It's trying to make them look like a good guy. I think a lot of people just don't have real problems in their life, so they try to invent problems like this to try to fight, to try to be part of like something good. In their mind, it's like something good, right? They are trying to fight for the rights of PNGs, right? So you might think it's lame, but in a lot of these people's eyes, it's not, right? That's just how it is. There's a 500-year-old elf, you just can't see them. I don't quite like people calling an anime or game characters as PNG or JPG, as they are way more than that. They were given life by the story and voice acting, have their own journey that goes before and after the small chapters we get to see. I guess to a certain extent that's true, right? But it's still not real, right? You fight for Justia's rights. Fine. Go keep fighting for the rights then. The rights are going to be very, very important. The Pixel Defense Force can now pipe down. So now that this has been removed, does these cowards... I like the ages because the 30-year-old MILFs were hitting. I wanted to collect all MILFs in the game. No more Doom posting. Huge L, disappointing, and the fact that people are praising it is even more disappointing. We can't be at peace, the game just censors itself. It's probably going to get worse, right? Some people think Steam Reverse rejected the game because the main girl, Justia, is apparently 15. Uh-oh. So what is this? 15 years old. Contestant of the Miss Annie Wise final. Hobby, exploring buffets. What I like, rare bloody sticks. What I dislike, playing around at the dinner table. What I cherish, a normal daily life with nothing much to do. Seems pretty wholesome, right? 15 is normal back at the old era. Yeah, but we can't reverse time, right? You need to understand nobody thinks like that anyway, right? That is not 15. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Because these are going to be, you know, the stuff. We are really flapping Justia. So Justia is going to be too old. But I'm not surprised if, you know, there could be some country, they have some laws that just like, you know, even if it's, it might not even be America, right? It might be UK, right? You never know. Maybe this is not allowed in UK or some like EU countries. It could be those few things. But I hope that it doesn't go beyond this. But we'll see, because this is very upsetting in my opinion, right? Because I don't think the people that complain are just going to stop there. I think there's going to be more that's to come.